How you convince the world that Pakistan really can provide the top tech solution.
The whole idea, the inspiration was Pakistan.
Any wow moment of your life.
The way things happened changed my direction from a corporate to entrepreneur. Had the blessing of my father.
And would you like to share that moment when you were nominated for the prestigious Sitara Imtiaz?
And the ambassador called me from Washington DC, Pakistani ambassador. And when I told my father, oh my God, he was crying.
Word which your friend will use to describe you.
You're very innocent. My elder brother Shah Bhai, and he was really a visionary who put the first seed capital for NETSOL Pakistan.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. Today we are honored to have with us an international recognized business leader, a visionary entrepreneur and philanthropist, chairman of NETSOL, Mr. Najeeb Ghauri. He is the one who made history by taking NETSOL to become the first Pakistan-American company listed on NASDAQ. Because of his remarkable contribution to Pakistan, he has been awarded a prestigious Sitara Imtiaz. So, Mr. Ghauri, we are really happy to have you on the hot seat and we are so excited to have you today.
Thank you very much, Khadija, for having me over.
To start off with that, what gave you that confidence to take NETSOL globally and how you convinced the world that Pakistan really can provide the top tech solutions?
The whole idea, the inspiration was Pakistan. To do something different other than just running an IT company, which was actually quite brilliant, but to think of the New York, Times Square, NASDAQ, the biggest tech index in the world, I think it was a dream. And sometimes things happen, Khatija, without working too hard, because sometimes it's natural, sometimes you just connect with people. So when I thought of doing it, I was transitioning from my corporate career, from job in Unilever and an oil company in the marketing. When I did the transition, the whole idea was quite adventurous and maybe risky. So then we evolved and then we launched the IPO, initial public offering, and NASDAQ was an important piece to list on the exchange so you can trade stock. And it wasn't easy, but we went through a lot of requirements for the regulators. And end of the day, NASDAQ believed in our story, and the story was simple. We are positioning global market, but doing software in Lahore, Pakistan, right, in a developing market, not underdeveloped, but developing economy, which Pakistan was then. And I was sitting in the US, so we wanted to connect the dot between US and Pakistan connection, and then NASDAQ would give us real exposure to our company stock,
So, was there a moment where you ever thought that this will not work and how did you push through?
I, by nature, I'm an optimist, and I always think of positive. Sometimes I know things are not looking good, but there's no harm in thinking about it if you believe in something, and then you are ready to overcome any hurdles, any issue that you have to just deal with while you're going through the process. And if your intention is good and the vision is clear, then I think then you can achieve it.
So Naj, as you told that you're really optimist. So being optimistic is really a good trait and that requires a lot of persistence. So what more inspiring is that you start at the age of 40 at NETSOL, and people think that at certain age you just don't do anything. People think that you can't accelerate. But what was thinking in your mind? What were you thinking at that time?
Well, Khatija, I did 15 years of my corporate career after my MBA. Started this journey in literally 97. Prior to that, I was doing my corporate career, right? I came to a point where I said, it's fine to have a job with decent income and it takes care of your day-to-day lifestyle. But then I thought it was just for me. I'm living in the US and just maintaining a household. I wanted to do something different that will involve Pakistan in the picture. And that was my biggest motivation to go to that journey, not knowing what the end will be. And when you have when you have belief, when you think that you have a good idea, and then you can cross all the hurdles in your way. So this is exactly what happened with me. I thought of Pakistan. I said, time has come. My roots is Pakistan. I got my early education. My family is over there. I have to do something that will involve Pakistan, technology, which my brother had just started the company a year before that, like in '96, Najeeb Ghauri. And then in that process, this listing IPO, doing IPO, and then NASDAQ came into the picture. And I honestly believe, for me, when we applied to be listed on NASDAQ, it didn't take too long. And we were totally shocked. Me and my wife Aisha, she was working with me as a partner. We didn't realize that this actually happened. For a few days, we were in denial. When they say, okay, and it was 22nd December 99, when I got a letter from NASDAQ that you are now approved to list on the NASDAQ. It was phenomenal. First Pakistani company, small business. I've never done this before. I'm learning on the job. But it happened, and then we made sure we get the right mileage out of it to grow the business by using that currency.
So would you like to share the reason that why you left that, your very shining career? You were working with the known organization on a very leadership roles.
It was actually...
Because what I've heard, that was a very inspiring story.
Yeah, because it was a moment where, almost 15 years in that career. When I did my MBA, that's the first thing I did, got into corporate career, right? And then it lasted for 15 years. Now, it was a period where I thought, I can continue this. Life is good, right? But it's just for me and my children. That does not involve any other community or any other place where I come from, right? To do something for Pakistan, I had to do what I did. To transition, take the risk, and start from zero. And for 15 months, when I was hired by I was approached by some VC, venture capitalists, and they saw some potential in me, and they were sending me to India to invest money in India. They said, we'll help you, we'll give you resources, tools, and lawyers to help you to take it public, a shell company public, but then you have to invest the money you raise to take it to India. I said, okay, we'll talk about that later. Right now, let me go through the whole process of getting approval for IPO and then on the NASDAQ. But then I also, when we did get the approval, they came to me, so Najeeb, are you ready to go to India? I said, listen, I have nothing against India, but I want to go to Pakistan first to invest that money in Pakistan. And they looked at me, okay, fine, 3 Americans, 1 Pakistani American. So they flew in with me together to Lahore. And I had told Salim, I'm coming. Salim's company was just about a year old, small setup, clean 8-9 programmers. And when I introduced these guys to them, to Salim and his people, they were impressed. Clean operation, my brother. One thing they realized that this is a family which is very close to each other, and then they could trust with their investment through me. And that's how we ended up partnering with NETSOL Pakistan, and then follow on, we were able to take this company on NASDAQ.
That's really incredible, because it really shows that how bold decision can at times change the entire industry.
Absolutely bold.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And many people think that it's too late to start at certain age. So what message you want to give to those people?
You have the right vision and you believe you can make a difference, not just for yourself, but for the community. For me, community is also equally important. Not just my family, but community means employees, your team, and outside your business, that you have to look after them. That means philanthropy is a core of our beliefs in my family, and I led that principle. Even if I didn't have money, I would make sure that I step up and to help somebody. So those are the genes and the dynamics we have been instilled in our mind through our parents. They were really giving people, and they taught us how to share with others who are in more need than you have. So that culture has been in our system from pretty much ever since I can remember. And then when you turn 40, you one thing you got to understand. Some wise man told me many years ago, the older you get, the wiser you get, right? Although 40 was the middle age, right? I definitely got more wiser. I can say. Yes, I was. But see, when you have a sense of responsibility to build your own business, and a lot of people depending on you, then you have to become. Because when you're doing a job, let them worry about it. You're getting paid, you do your work and go home, right? But when you have become an employer yourself, then it's a different picture altogether. You think differently, you make decisions differently. You look at what other people into how will they do. If I made a mistake, it will affect my employees and their careers. So this is the message that we kept in our heart, that look, embarking on this journey of entrepreneur, and creating a business, particularly getting a footprint in the US, is not a small thing. Not a small thing. Somebody who didn't have that experience. I only had the corporate experience. But I think God was over watching us. I really believe in that destiny. If you have honest intention to benefit others instead of hurting others indirectly or directly, then you find help also. Because sometimes optimism to me is contagious, and I was very optimistic. I personally don't like negativity. I try to turn negative into positive because that's the right thing.
I'm really happy to see the optimistic approach you have. And Naj, I really wanted to know that with over 4 decades of experience, how your leadership has evolved and what does leadership means to you?
I think initially, when I was very hands-on, right? When I didn't have a lot of people, I was just doing everything, and then with the help of, I was making the key decisions. As we matured in the business and the company, we started to grow the size of team, right, worldwide and locally in my US offices, and we created so many different locations. I started to believe, along with my colleagues here, that empowerment, giving responsibilities, let people own their jobs, give them goals and targets, right, and then let them deliver. And we don't believe in micromanagement, never. We believe in giving them authority and empowerment to let them. It's okay if they stumble. If they make mistakes, we'll help them out. So this is how you empower people, to let them become successful in their own way. If you're given responsibility, they will never let you down, because they are given the responsibility because they have the trust of the CEO or the management. So I believe empowering the people is important, to give them sense of, oh yeah, we can do it too, if the seniors give us the responsibility. So that makes it easy for us to, but then you have to have the right people.
Yes, true. So how do you ensure that vision trickle down to your team globally?
I think it's a good point. Some still hold cards to their chest, right? And it happens in any organization. We have a large organization, and most of them follow us. They see how we manage this company, the leadership role. I think majority of people follow the same principle. Chain of command follows through top to bottom, and some are different, but most of the people are the way we operate, the way we think, and it works in every country we operate.
That's really a great insight, and it shows that vision is all about people as it's about strategy. What opportunities do you see for Pakistan tech sector in the next 10 years?
It is now almost $4 billion IT exports, right? This is the latest figure from the government, which came just 2 weeks ago. When we started the company back in 96, 97, the private company, it was hardly $200-300 million. It was a very pioneer tech industry, IT industry, right? It has grown in the last 25 years to the $4 billion IT exports. Now, I think the way population is growing, the youngster under 30, which is the 67% of the population, that's 2/3 of the population, is the future growth engine. This side of the population is, no other country has this mix of 65% under 30. We are a young country. The young people are the future. They will take Pakistan to the next level because they're born with the technology era. AI, right? Versus when we were born, there was no such thing, right? So they learn, they pick up things very quickly. They don't even need to be trained. They just watch TV and they pick it up. So future generation of Pakistan will be very, very successful. It will become, there's the reports from World Bank and one of the prominent investment bank, Goldman Sachs, the Pakistan economy will grow manyfold in coming 25 years. It will become one of the 10 leading economies in the world. Think about it. This is Pakistan. Although Pakistan is the 5th largest populated country right now. And if the population continues to grow, we could be 300 million people instead of 240 million people eventually. But the young population is the growth engine for Pakistan. Second point on the artificial intelligence. It's new. This whole concept, this whole, the new tools and major paradigm shift of how AI is functioning. Look, artificial intelligence is something, it's like humanless, right? But Pakistani schools and colleges and companies are already getting into it. Like in my own company, NETSOL, everybody's talking about it. Youngsters are really getting the feel of it and they're adopting it. They're still a growing economy where I see no limit. So I think in the long term, AI will benefit Pakistan, it will benefit industries, and the youngsters are the one who are really enjoying it.
It's commendable and it shows how much potential is there for the future. Now coming to that point, that your passion for education is well known. What drives you for that commitment?
Education is, look, in Pakistan I know, and it's all about Pakistan. I support for the last 25 years all Pakistani-driven NGOs in US, right? They have projects here like DIL and FC College and NASDAQ, you name it, right? My interest was that we have been educated. We grew up we were more blessed and given better life in prime location, living in the Lahore Gulbarg area when we were growing up in 70s, went to good. I know about the 25 million unschooled kids in Pakistan. Just think about the magnitude. So back in my mind, it was all about share your success with others by creating schools, giving to schools, helping students, create scholarship program. You know, I committed with FC College, right, with some endowment program, because even in a top-notch college, there are students who have ability, they have good scores to get into school, but they don't have the tuition fees. They can't afford it. So we were able to create scholarships. But it is also your social and moral responsibility that you cannot close your eyes and close your ears that, okay, I ignore other people when you have the ability. People give when they don't have anything, right? So when we have something, education, experience, and ability, why not? To help schools and all different programs that we see that they can use our money, our resources, and our experiences. So it's just giving back to society is the part of in our gene, and it's also in our religion.
That's really amazing, and education is really the foundation of change, and your works really proves that. You're running a global business and at the same time actively contributing to a philanthropy. So how do you balance the both?
You know, when you create such an organization with my brothers, nephews, and 2,000 other people, it becomes a system so structured.
So you got a lot of support from your family to balance both things.
Absolutely.
So that's a great point, because when values are high, and then work doesn't trade off.
We connect very well. We connect with each other very well, and yeah, we always, if we have problem, we always solve. We find the solution and try to make sure that everybody is on the same mission. Our mission is aligned. I believe our achievements are aligned. We look up at each other and make sure that we are continuously moving forward, and the next generation is already ready to take off.
When you look back, what is your biggest contribution to the IT industry? What do you think?
I think US listing, NASDAQ.
Yes.
Absolutely, because that is the crown jewel. It was bizarre because people thought it's not possible, because when I was filing for the paperwork with the NASDAQ authorities, my biggest strength was in Pakistan. And I'm positioning a US-based Pakistani company, a US headquarter, and people sitting in Pakistan, the developer, programmers, key management. Back then, we didn't have too many offices back in 97, right? This was almost 25 years ago. Much smaller company. But I really believe those regulators, they probably had some sympathies from me. I really believe that. Maybe they never had interacted for a listening process with the Pakistani men sitting in the US. There are a couple other stories, but they don't work in Pakistan. But we were 90% dependent in Pakistan. So it's just somebody said, you know what? Why not? Let them have it, So I think I was lucky.
To get listed NETSOL on NASDAQ, you build an ecosystem.
100%.
So Naj, the point is that you have now gone through a lot, right? So you have experienced so much. You have transitioned. You even evolved your personality. Personality evolves over the years. You also evolved. So if you see your younger self back then and now, there's a huge difference. So if now you have to advise to your younger self, what that one-liner would be?
Don't look back. Move forward. Do your best. And doing best means you want to be result-driven. And if you fail, it's okay. Failing is not a bad thing. But sometimes failure is a good thing to succeed. I've failed many times. And because if you don't taste the failing, I think, how it feels, then you won't realize the value of success. So I think there were times that I was struggling in my career, but that's a lot of different discussion. And that gave me a sense of hunger that I can do it. Because my mind is clear. I can do things that can make the difference in my own world, but in Pakistan. To me, Pakistan was the biggest driving factor to what I did with the listing here. Because that would give the footprint and a global respect that this company is selling software from Lahore, but they're trading in the US. It gives instant qualification, accreditation to potential customers also.
So Naj, the way you said that failure, the advice you gave, that failure doesn't mean it's end of everything. That's really golden advice. And I think we all can relate to this even today. But now I really wanted to know that any wow moment of your life, I really want you to share that story of you and with your Papa Ji, that wow moment. Because I have already get all the information from you and I really wanted to highlight all this in that,
My father, once I came to Pakistan in 1997 fall, and I was doing my job. This is before NETSOL journey, and I spent 2 weeks, brought two of my younger kids, and we used to have house in defense somewhere. And after 2 weeks, short vacation, you work 2 years to save money to come for Pakistan trip, and I was on a job. And when I was coming out of the house, my father came out to see me off, my mother, brother. I started to cry. I didn't want to leave because I'm close to father. Mother had died many years ago. It was a very emotional moment, and they were pushing me because I was about to miss my flight. Aisha saying, they were all crying. I said, Nash, let's go. We'll miss the flight to US. So I left, and I found out then things changed completely. That was the last journey I was doing my job. 4 months later, in April 97 exactly, something came in my life that triggered the whole thing to do an IPO. But I found out later, my mother, Yasmin auntie, the beta, when you were crying that night, you don't know what happened after that. I said, no. You left, Papaji went inside, reading his Maghrib Namaz, and he was crying for me. Doing dua that God, my son is alone in America, right? And I wish he find a way to work together with his brother in Pakistan. That dua in December 97, 4 months later, I didn't know what happened. This whole thing started 4 months later. That to me was a very surreal thing. I believe in what happened, because the way things happened changed my direction from a corporate to entrepreneur. Had the blessing of my father. I didn't know that. I thought maybe I've done a big thing, but of course, hard work. But somebody's praying for you, and it exactly how you prayed that my son needs to be coming to Pakistan regularly. Oh my God! After that moment, I've gone to Pakistan 4-5 times a year from the last 30 years, because the whole door opened up.
And would you like to share that moment when you were nominated for the prestigious Sitara Imtiaz and when you took your father to that? So that was also a very emotional moment.
It was actually, I was in London for some holidays, and the ambassador called me from Washington DC, Pakistani ambassador, and the consul general from Los Angeles. They said, I had met them at an event 2 weeks before in LA. He said, Najeeb, we have some great news for you. I said, please bataiye. Okay, how will you feel if we tell you you've been nominated for Sitara Imtiaz? And my jaw dropped, because I never imagined that they give civil award to the Pakistani living abroad. I thought maybe it was only for a look. So I never paid attention to all these. I used to hear on TV. But when they told me that you've been nominated, and I said, well, what did I do? I said, well, you've done a lot of good things. You don't realize it, right? And they noticed that. Yeah, that was really... And when I told my father, oh my God, he was crying. I swear to God, he started to cry. He said, beta, my nickname is Jaji. Kehte, beta, you have no idea. This was 4 months before he passed away, right? Award was actually delivered sometime September 2020. And he passed away in January 2021, right? 4 months later. When he found out, when I shared with him, he said, beta, you are giving me the best thing in my life before I go from this world. Because you will never imagine that this can happen. What I'm saying is, I feel blessed, and I feel that, wow, Pakistani government is thinking about their expatriate living abroad, doing something. They found out that there's philanthropy involved. There's US company trading in Pakistan. There's all kind of things happening. So they identified me, and so then I took my father to the event. That was incredible. We were staying in Serena Hotel. Me and my Papa Ji had room next to the. I said, Papa, let me come and dress you up. I always used to help him, put him on his suit and tie. And when I was dressing him up, tied his tie and then put on jacket, and I went down to tie his shoes. His tears dropped on my head. He was so emotional. He said, my God, we're going to Pakistan President House to see the whole ceremony, which is very, very unique. But I think I'm blessed, and I'm thankful to Almighty. It's His will, but never imagined this thing. I never imagined this can happen. But then government of Pakistan do recognize if you are a foreign resident, Pakistani expatriate, and doing something for Pakistan. They see that. And it's not just philanthropy. It's creating a whole ecosystem of hundreds of thousands of people in Pakistan. So that was quite unique thing.
Yeah, that's really amazing. That's really commendable. The activities, the work you are doing for Pakistan, the contribution for you is the contribution of yours for Pakistan is really commendable. And before we wrap up, let's just a little fun. How was you as a child?
One thing, bro, I say how was I as a child, it's quite naughty, but I am very grateful to my late parents, my elder brother Shah Bhai, and he was really a visionary who put the first seed capital for NETSOL Pakistan in '96, and that really triggered my interest. Now to your question, how was I naughty? Yes, I was very naughty.
Very naughty girl.
Yeah, I was naughty.
What sort of naughty? Any act? Any memory?
Well, I don't know where you're going to send all this video, but look, I was like a typical, teenager, long hair, bell bottom, living in a good neighborhood, just chasing little girls.
It's everywhere. It's still normal.
Went to English medium school, and it was just, some naughtiness.
And what's your favorite food? Like, which you can't resist even? Favorite food?
Food, that's pretty good question. I'm in US, I'm very fond of sushi. Sushi is really good. I mean, you don't do it every day, right?
Yeah.
Sushi, I'm quite used to. We at least go once a month. And I like homemade Pakistani food, desi food. Aisha is good. We have caretaker who cooks food for us. They're trained to make chicken karai and dal chawal.
Oh, yeah. This is a Lahori vibe. Dal chawal.
Chawal and kebab. Yesterday I told my guy he said, "Saab kya banaun?" I said, "Dal chawal kebab."
With the char, with salad.
Simple. I'm actually quite simple. I don't have nakra about food.
Nakra, no nakra. Okay. So you're also known as a golfer, a big time golfer. What draws you to that game?
I'm more goofer than a golfer. No, actually, I started playing golf recently. My father played golf. My brother Naeem played golf for years. And something inspired me 6 months ago. And I started doing it. I played here when I was in January, February. Played a lot. And then back in US, I'm doing like 3-4 days a week,
Because golf needs a lot of patience, right?
Patience and a lot of energy. And I'm good health, and I walk, I run, I do exercises. But golf has become my passion now. A lot of golf.
That requires a lot of consistency and patience.
When I used to walk where I live right now, there's a whole compound. So nice community, gated community. So I used to walk 3 miles every morning, right? And you're going up the hills and go around, circle and go back home. But then walking do not give you any pleasure. It's like because you want to be strong and healthy. You don't enjoy it. But when I start playing golf, you enjoy it. And you never get tired. Because you want to keep winning, get better and better actually. So that is the inspiration, and then it's good for your mind also.
So I've heard that, is it true that during golf, you make a lot of decisions?
Yes.
Like people take a lot of decisions?
Yes. Oftentimes when I play with my CFO once in a while in the US, talking about business. I'm with my nephews and my brothers, yes, absolutely. Even with our friends, when I play in US, there's something going on, there's some event going on, we always talk, and it's a good place to bond and spend quality time with your golfing partners.
We just wanted to wrap up now, and we wanted to have a rapid fire. So are you like in a mountains or a beach?
Mountain.
Coffee or a tea?
Tea.
Night owl or early riser?
Early riser. Too early riser.
Too early riser. A movie or a book?
Movie. I'm not much of a book reader.
A Hollywood or Bollywood?
No, Hollywood.
One word which describes you?
I think just be genuine. Just be who you are. What you see is what you get.
Okay, so you're genuine.
Yes, I think so.
What word which your friend will use to describe you?
You're very innocent. I don't know if I'm innocent. They think you're innocent. Because I tell you why. Because I don't have any chalaki, right? I say things sometimes I feel, right? But I don't have anything in my mind that is just, I'm thinking differently for you others. I just say what I feel about a person. So I think I'm a very simple, straight guy. And that's why I've made a lot of friends.
If you could have a dinner with any historical figure, it's up to you if you want to put any Bollywood figure.
Quaid-e-Azam.
Quaid-e-Azam. That's...
Winston Churchill.
Winston Churchill. That's great. Quaid-e-Azam, Rao. What do you do when you are in stress?
Yeah. Sometimes I just shake it up, go for a walk. And I just, look, stress is kind of part of life, right? It's, for whatever reason, you have to leave. I am a very sensitive person. And sometimes it's not good for me because when you're too sensitive, everything bothers you, right? Something that's not your way. But I just learned to accept it and de-stress myself. And by doing, I pray, I'm regular, get up early, and just keep my attitude very positive. And one thing I've learned, I know crises have destroyed me, my thinking. yes, I've had some difficult time during the journey of this 25 years, but I stood firm. I said, there are great days and there are also difficult days in life. This is part of the journey. I mean, you can imagine our Prophet, peace be upon him, what kind of life he led. There were a lot of challenges, right? So you continue to follow your journey, your ability to do things that makes a world a better place, and just with the right focus, put your head down, then things will be fine. Stress is a part of life.
True.
Unless you're a robot.
A piece of advice which you would like to give to our audience?
To our
Audience.
I would say life is too short. Make the most of it. Contribute to society. Don't just live for yourself. Live for others too. That gives you spiritual satisfaction, because you want to be able to see that, okay, this man is no more, but he was good with people. And if you're good with people, that's what's all that matters in life. Don't take any grudges, hold any grudges, and leave this world with a clear conscience that, have I hurt anybody? If you feel that you have not hurt anybody, you feel good. And if you hurt anybody, apologize while you're alive.
Mr. Ghauri, that has been absolute pleasure, and thank you so much for sharing your journey, wisdom or experience with us. And I am sure that our audience will take away so much from this conversation. And I really wish you a healthy life ahead, and thank you so much for making this today. Thank you very much.